Well, hello. Today is Saturday, January 30th. Where did this month go to? The month is almost over. It's so hard to believe. It's just going by too fast. But we do have a birthday today. Today is Tina McDonald's birthday, so Tina gets a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tina. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, Tina, I hope you have a great birthday. If you're new to my channel, if you let me know in the comments below when your birthday is, I will sing to you. And the reason I say cha-cha-cha at the end of the song also is it's just something that we do in my family. It started years ago when my niece Kylie, one time when we were singing Happy Birthday, just kind of threw cha-cha-cha in there. And so now we just say cha-cha-cha. So that's where the cha-cha-cha came from. Anyway, I did some laundry today. I stayed on plan today. I'm just feeling so optimistic. Jim and I are making some progress on the puzzle, which is encouraging for us because we're determined. We're just so determined. We've been working on it now. We're trying to figure out how long it's been. I think it's been at least 2 weeks. But you sit down and you get so absorbed in it, like an hour or 2 hours will pass, and it'll like take you half an hour to figure out one piece, it seems like. But keeps our brain sharp. That's all that really matters. That's why we like doing it. But told you I was going to tell you a story. I forget. I wish I could remember who it was. Somebody had asked me if I had any stories about the drive-ins, because, you know, back in the day when I went, you went to the drive-in. And Jim didn't have a car when we first started dating, but his brother Tom did, and Tom was dating his first wife at the time. Tom ended up getting married 3 times? At least 3 times. I'm trying to think. I'm not going to say their names out loud. Jim was the best man at all 3 of them. Jim's not a good luck charm. So I think it's only 3 because I think Tom told him 3 times you're out. If I ever get married again, I'm not having you as my best man. But so we used to do a lot of double dating with Tom and Jackie, and we used to go to the the drive-ins all the time. There was 2 drive-ins in our area that we went to. It was the drive-in Gratiot, what was, if you're familiar with the area, it was over on Masonic and Gratiot, which right now is the what's over there now? Costco is in there. At one time, Burlington Factory was in there, but we went there. And then the other place we went was the Bel Air Drive-In, which was over on 8 Mile. I'm trying to think whereabouts. Somewhere on 8 Mile. I think it was by DeQuinder, I think. I don't know. It was over on 8 Mile. We used to go there all the time, too. But we had gone there, and Jim and I had just started dating. We hadn't been dating that long. And we went to the drive-in to see something, and, you know, Tom and Jackie sat in the front seat, and Jim and I were in the back seat. And we weren't really watching the movie, so it didn't really matter that we were in the back seat. But Jim didn't know that I had convulsions, and we were in the back seat having fun, and I had a seizure. I had my first seizure when I was 12, I think. I was either 12 or 13 years old. I remember that first seizure because it was really hot in the summer. And when we used to go to school, sidetrack. If you've been with me a while, you know I sidetrack. Was going to our elementary school where I went to. We always stopped and we would talk to the firemen, and they'd pull the windows open. There was no screens on the windows. They'd pull them open. We'd talk to the firemen all the time, and they were, you know, like, they were old because I thought they were old. They were probably in their 20s, but, you know, like when you're 11, 12 years old, anybody over 20 looks like they're, you know, ready to retire. And so, you know, we would talk every day. My 3 girlfriends, it would be me and Mary Kay and Sue and Sydney, and we would stop and we would talk to them all the time. And so then we were out for summer vacation, so we didn't get to see them that much. And the one summer night, it was so hot, and we didn't have air conditioning. We had a fan in the window, which, you know, all that does is suck in the hot air as far as I'm concerned. And I had a convulsion. I had them when I was younger, too. I should take that back, because My very first convulsion I remember is I fell out of the bunk bed, and I remember my mother dragging me by my feet because she couldn't pick me up, dragging me into the kitchen and calling my Aunt Rose, who lived like 5 houses down, to come to the house because she didn't know what was going on. That was my first convulsion. And then this other convulsion I had when we moved into our new house, and like I said, we were always talking to the firemen, and I went to bed completely naked because I was so hot. And I had convulsion, and my mother called the fire department, and when I woke up and looked around, I saw all my firemen looking at me, and I was naked as a jaybird. It was like, oh my gosh! Oh! I never went and talked to them again. I was just too embarrassed. I was just so embarrassed. And then I had one in school one time. Before I started dating Jim, I could feel it coming on, and I left the classroom, and you weren't allowed to leave the classroom without permission, but I didn't want to have a convulsion in front of everybody. And so I left and went to the bathroom and took care of myself, basically, until I came to. And then when I went back to the room, the teacher wouldn't let me in the room, and my mother had to come over, and she didn't want to do that, so they let that go. But so Jim didn't know, and we were at the drive-in, not watching a movie, and I could feel one coming on, because I could always feel one was coming on, but Jim kind of just thought that I was in the heat of the moment type of thing, and I kept saying, no, I'm not feeling this, and then all of a sudden I went into a convulsion, and him and Tom and Jackie panicked because it was like really a really bad one, and they left the drive-in and they drove right to the hospital. Well, the hospital, because a lot of people back then were doing drugs, thought that I was having an overdose for the drugs. And so they went in there, and Jim didn't want to call my mother because he thought that he had done something that caused me to do this, although he knew that we weren't doing it, because I never did any drugs my whole life. I never even smoked a joint. I had no interest in it. And I think the reason I never did any, and then I tell you, I can't drink because I can't say that I've never been drunk, because I have been. But I never wanted to do drugs because I didn't want to alter my state, because I'd had so many convulsions and I knew what it felt like to have an altered state, and I really wasn't a big fan of it. So I never had any interest in taking any kind of drugs of any kind. So I never did. But, like they obviously thought I was, because Jim didn't know that I had suffered from convulsions. And it wasn't until he called my mother. My mother says, she's a borderline epileptic. She has epileptic seizures. They should be aware of this. So all that. So then, after that, Jim, every time I was like feeling like a little off, he would say, are you going to have a convulsion again? Are you going to do that in front of me? And I said, no, I'm not going to do that in front of you. I've learned my lesson. You bring me to the hospital, and then they treat me like I'm a drug overdose person. So, but, the memories. Yeah. Anyway, so that's I have one other time I went to the drive-in with my family when I was younger. And like usually the people that were parking and not really caring about the movie always went way in the back. And I had gone to the concession stand by myself. I was like 10 maybe. And I had convinced my mother that I could do that. And I got lost going back. I couldn't find the car. And so I was yelling, Mommy, Mommy. And then people in the cars were yelling, Mommy, Mommy. making fun of me. So, but I eventually obviously found my mother, and I never went to the concession stand again by myself. I was so scared. But I did go by my post office the other day, and I got another Christmas card, and this was my old P.O. Box 55. I changed it to a smaller box because it was cheaper. So, but they still send it to me. So anyway, neither here nor there. Isn't that pretty? It said, for unto us a child is born. Merry Christmas. Sandy, wishing you and your family a wonderful holiday and a happy New Year's. Stay warm out there. Even though I know you're not a hugger, I'm sending you a hug. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Walt and Kat from Cat on Point. Well, thank you, Kat. I so appreciate that. I really do. So, today I wanted to talk about faith. Faith is more than just religious faith. You have to have faith in yourself, too. I really have faith that this is my year. I've been saying this, I know, for a long time. But, I've never been as close as I am now. Well, I have been. I should take that back because I used to be 209.2. But I just really do have faith that I'm going to do it, and hopefully I'm going to get to it before Easter. But if I don't, I don't. You know, I'm just chugging away. That's all you can do is just keep chugging away. And I think if you believe it's going to happen, it will happen. I really do. I always tell you, how do I know that? I just know it. Well, it's like, I don't know it, but I know it. I know. I really believe. I believe that this is my year. 2020 was a crappy year all the way around. It really was. And it's just, I'm very proud of the fact that a good majority of people had weight gains during 2020, and I ended up the year, I forget, wasn't it like a 14 or 16 pound loss for the year? I'm really proud of that fact because there's so many people gain like 10 or 15 pounds for the year. So I really believe that even though I didn't do as well as I would have liked, I did better than some. So, and I think that if you believe it'll happen, it'll happen. It really will. It may take a little while. It may not come to you right away. But I think anything that takes a while, you appreciate it that much more. Like I've always told my kids when they were growing up, if you gotta, you know, like when we played games and that if they cheat, if you gotta cheat, is it really a victory? And the same thing is if you don't really try at something and somebody just hands it to you. This is why I was so against all of these participation awards. It drove this generation to think that they're entitled. It really did. Because when I went to school, you either made the team or you didn't make the team. Or you came in first place or you came in third place. But everybody didn't get a trophy, you know. And I think that when you just showed up and got a trophy for just being there, I don't think it meant it. It didn't really, it took away from me, the person that really came in first place. There really was, you know, what was the big victory? I got a trophy, you got a trophy, he got a trophy, we all got a trophy. No, it's just, that's why I think that I appreciate my weight loss so much, is because I realize how hard I work at it and how much effort I put into it. And I just know that nobody's going to hand it to me. Now, if somebody was to come and knocking on my door and say, if you take this pill, you'll be at your perfect weight and you can stay there the rest of your life, I'd say, how much does this pill cost? Because, you know, I would take that pill. But I just really, and I really, at this point in my journey, I really do think that if somebody was to say, tomorrow you can be at your goal weight, I don't really think I'd be able to stay at my goal weight, because I would kind of think, you know, I can just have this and I can have that. Now I'm learning. I mean, I've gone up and down, and I think it's a learning curve. Whereas if I was right there at my goal, I'd just kind of like keep inching my way up. I know who I am. I just know that. You got to know who you are. And I know I'm not perfect. I mean, I tell my family I'm perfect. I tell them that all the time. They know I'm not. It's pretty obvious. But I think that if you're perfect all the time, then you kind of resent the whole journey. It's just like, it's kind of fun sometimes to cheat. On my food, not on other things in life, you know. I don't cheat on my taxes, or I don't cheat on gym or anything like that. But, you know, sometimes it's nice to just kind of cheat on the food. But you can't do it all the time. You just can't. And I think that a lot of my problems for the month of January, well, you know, for the month of January, though, my goal was to lose 10 pounds. I told you that at the beginning of January. I ended up, for the whole month of January, I lost 2.8 pounds, which is not as well as I would have liked, but you know what? I ended the month with a 2.8 loss. So if I can end each month with a loss, I'm going in the right direction. So I'm going the right way if I at least have a loss. I really haven't thought about my February plans yet, but and I told you my 10-pound thing was just to kind of make up for the 9 pounds that I gained in December. I'm going to have a new assessment for February. I haven't really thought of what it is yet, but I will let you know on Monday, on February 1st, what it's going to be. But I do know I'm going to stop overthinking everything. It's just, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, at least. So I'll share with you again what I had to eat today. Like I said, I eat very light on Friday, and so on Saturdays I kind of wake up, I'm very hungry. I probably should eat more on Fridays, but it's just something I do. I've been doing it for almost 70 years, 60, 70 years. It's just a habit that I have that I do. I by no means starve myself, but I do eat probably less than 1,000 calories in the day, and so I kind of make up for it the next day, which I know is not the way to do it, but I'm sorry, that's the way I do it. So today for breakfast I had a whole bagel. Usually I only have a half a bagel, but I had a whole, those English, Thomas's everything but the bagel, for 280 calories. I had a tablespoon of peanut butter on it, which was 95 calories, and then I had a Laughing Cow. I put a tablespoon of peanut butter on the one half, and on the other half I put a Laughing Cow cheese, which was 35. Then I had my berries. I had a cup of berries, which was 84. I had my banana for 105. I had my egg for 72 calories, and I had 4 slices of center cut bacon for 125 calories. So it did come out to a big point breakfast. It was a 16-point breakfast. I didn't realize that because I figured it out after I ate. And it was 796 calories. I'm trying to plan between 12 and 1,500 calories per day. Closer to the 1,200, but as long as I don't go over 1,500 calories in a day, I think I'm going to be doing fine. For lunch, I did get a chicken chalupa. One chicken chalupa from Taco Bell, which was 330 calories and 9 points. But let me tell you, it was worth every point. And then I had a green apple. So my lunch was 401 calories and a 9-point lunch. And then for dinner, I had a turkey sandwich. So the turkey was the ultra-thin, low-sodium turkey for 59 calories. I had 2 slices of the Aunt Millie's light bread for 80 calories. I had 3 slices of light Swiss, the ultra thin sliced, for 120 calories. I had a cucumber for 8 calories. I had a tomato for 21 calories. And I had the diet imitation Starbucks lemonade iced tea. And I counted that as 3 calories because Joan helped me out with that, figuring that out. So my dinner ended up being 7 points and 291 calories. So I did end up the day with 32 points, which was like 9 points over my 23 that I'm entitled to. I don't feel bad about that at all. I have no problems with that. And then I come really close to my 1,500 calories, though. My calories are 1,488. Still under the 1,500 that I had planned for myself, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. So, like I said, you can have faith in yourself, know you can do it, believe in yourself, and your destiny is your choice. And my destiny is to be hitting my goal this year, and then being on maintenance, which is going to be just as hard. I know, I've heard from so many people, but you know what? I'm willing to try. Not willing to try. I'm willing to do it. That'd be a better way to say it. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, and share it if you think somebody might like to see it. And as always, stay safe, believe in yourself. Together we'll get this done. We're going to get to our goals.